Hi, Allie here, and we are going to stretch and enjoy some nice passive stretching and some mobility exercises that you can do on days that you're needing a little more stretching and maybe on your kind of more recovery days, or just when you're feeling a little tight and need to get some more stretching in. It should feel really good. Follow along and enjoy. I will be using a roller, so if you have a roller, great. You could do this without the roller as well. And then a TheraBand. If you don't have a TheraBand, then you could just use a long scarf or a long belt, something that you can use to assist your stretch. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is grab our rollers, and I really love this one for a chest stretch and shoulder mobilizer. I'm just going to start to roll down and gently guide the roller out, and I want you to start to drop your chest down through your shoulders. So you're getting a nice stretch through the arms, and then relax your forehead down and just take a breath here. Hold it, breathe. And then just slowly roll back up. And if that doesn't feel good, don't do it. You are welcome to just do this, child's pose, and then relax. Actually keep your butt up so your chest can drop down. But I'll do it with the roller. And again, you're gonna roll through. Just make it work for you. And then drop your chest down through your shoulders. And I'm feeling a stretch underneath my armpits and into the arms. And I'm just gonna enjoy this for another breath. And then I'm gonna slowly come back up. Okay, and now we're gonna press the roller out with one arm and use the other arm as leverage to give you a little rotation. So again, stretching through the whole right side, armpit, lat area. Should feel good. And then come in. And we'll go to the other side, guide the roller out. A little rotation here. Open that arm. And come in. And back off if it feels like it's too much. And stretch here. So I've got the roller right above my hand. Still give yourself some support. Try not to completely collapse into this one. We're gonna lift up out of it. And then come in. And other side. Rotation there. And in. Okay, great. Go ahead and grab your band. These are some very basic stretches that just feel great. You want to make sure you're stretching in optimal alignment, and I will go over that. So the first thing we're going to do is just reach the left leg out. And I want your left leg to be parallel. So it's gonna naturally wanna turn out, but try to bring it in so you're using your muscles to hold your parallel. And then we're gonna take the band and we're gonna place it around the arch of the right foot. So I'm gonna loop a few times, and I wanna make sure my hips are level and that my thigh bone can really drop deeply into that hip socket. My elbows are down, my supporting leg, my left leg is active. So I'm sending some energy through the heel, my knee's a tiny bit micro bent. I'm feeling that it's part of the stretch, or it's participating. So we're gonna reach through that heel, hold it there, and you may feel a little shaky. What I don't want you to do is tuck your pelvis to do this. Try to keep your tailbone long and heavy. And we're just gonna hold this, and we're gonna take a tiny little micro bend. And then as you exhale, you're gonna reach through your heel. Really flex that foot. Inhale. And exhale, extend through the heel. And inhale. And exhale, so check in, is that left leg turning out or is it still in parallel? Exhale, breathe through it. Feel your ribs expand and widen and stretch through. And then from here, we're gonna grab both ends with the left hand. I'm gonna open the right arm out to the side. I'm just going to turn my foot in and try to keep weight under the right side of the pelvis as the leg comes across. Hold that for about 20 seconds. Breathe. Hold. And then if it's available to your back, it may not feel appropriate for you. You're going to lift your hip up. So now I'm in a little rotation, stretching through the lower mid-back. I'm going to open my arm out. Feel good. You can turn your head to the right. Breathe, and then bring your leg up, dropping that half of the pelvis back down. And then I'm going to grab the band with both ends of the band with my same arm as leg. And I'm going to turn the right leg out, but I'm going to keep my left leg in parallel. And I'm just going to think of pointing my knee up towards my shoulder, but I don't want to lift my right hip. I want to think of keeping my hips on the same plane as I pull the leg up. And I'm using my arm strength to hold it there. Just breathe into it. So standing up, it looks like that yoga pose where you're holding the leg out to the side and you're standing on still your supporting side. So I want you to keep the opposite side of the rib cage down. So there's some abdominal work here. I can feel that my obliques are working. I haven't done this. Actually, it doesn't feel that great to do that. So stand on the left side of your body as you stretch, and then reach to that heel. If you need to back off and your knee's a little bent, that's okay. Hold it, and then just relax that leg down. And we'll go to the other side. Okay, so yeah, all these stretches are great to do throughout the week. So hips are level, supporting leg that's down is parallel, and we're gonna bend the knee, and we're gonna think of dropping the weight down. So if I feel more, you may have even seen that, more weight in my tailbone, that creates more space for my femur bone, my thigh bone, to drop down into that socket. So you want to feel that oppositional energy of dropping down to extend up. And inhale, and you can see that you're tracking your knee over your hip, ankle, and your knee will probably move a little out to the side as it bends, which is normal, and stretch, and bend. Right leg active, stretch, and inhale. Okay, did 5 of these, and then hold. Okay, grab with your opposite hand, turn your foot in, so you're getting that nice stretch through that. If you walk a lot or tend to overuse the lateral area of your calf, this is a good one for that. So I'm just letting the foot turn in, hold and breathe. This side of the pelvis is still down. I'm kind of pulling up on it slightly. So I'm stretching through the glute into the outer hip. You may not feel a huge stretch, but it's happening. And then again, if it's okay for you to lift your pelvis, lift that left hip over, and give yourself a little back stretch. Look at your hands, just like doing yoga on your back. Stretch here, breathe. And then roll that side down. And then I'm just gonna scoot over a little bit. The leg's gonna go out to the side, but I'm gonna work to keep this hip down, my leg in parallel. So I can feel that my right obliques, my right side of my abdominals are active. You always wanna find support and strength within your stretch. And passive stretching feels good and it is beneficial, but it's really important to do some dynamic active stretching where you don't have an outside force such as a band or whatever it is pulling or guiding the stretch. So you have to have the muscular strength to really get the full value of it. But this feels good and it is beneficial for different reasons. Okay, so your leg is up. I actually, on the other side, I did that. I did a little circle. So now, if it's okay for your back to bring both feet up, we're gonna work to keep the tailbone down, right? So we don't wanna be here. We want weight in the lower sacral area. And I'm just gonna stretch both legs up and bend, a little micro bend. So my legs are together and I'm just doing a tiny bend and then reaching the heels up. So really good for the whole back line. And exhale up. 3. Just breathe through this. Yeah, great to do after you've warmed up a little bit. Maybe you've gone on a walk, or maybe you're just having a good thing to do on a Sunday, or having a kind of a rest day. And one more here. Stretch, drop the tailbone down, 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 down. Reach those heels. Excellent. Okay, so our figure 4 stretch, our beloved figure 4 stretch. So we're going to place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And down here, if you're in a kind of awkward position to grab this thigh and you have to lift your head up off the mat, use a band or a scarf, just slide it under like this, loop it under that thigh, and then you have some leverage there. So you don't have to grab your thigh. So that is an option. Okay, so if you need to use that, do that. And then feel again how both sides of your pelvis are down on the mat. Breathe here, hold and breathe, hold and breathe, about 20-30 seconds. Take a nice full inhale and exhale. So you want to stay in that calm stretching zone. If you're struggling and you start sweating to achieve the stretch, then your nervous system is saying this is too much. You need to relax into your stretch, but have that muscular support and don't force it. Gently stretch into it. I think of your body as like a good analogy would be, okay, so say there's a cord and it's all knotted up. If you yank on it, it's gonna make it worse. But if you calmly take the time to get that knot out, then it will unravel. So you can think of your body like a cord. Or it's just one way, or stretching specifically. Okay, so we're gonna drop the weight down under the tailbone and we're gonna hold this. So again, I don't want your butt up. Drop your butt down. Breathe into it. This is one that we should all be doing. Really good one to do, especially if you're feeling tight in your hips and glutes. And you like cats, animals stretch all the time. Okay, and then you've all done this one, just like a nice happy baby stretch. We're gonna grab the outside of your ankles. So this is kind of mimicking your deep wide squat, right? So if you can, grab the outsides, drop your tailbone down, just hold that, stretch. Here, breathe. That feels okay. If not, don't do it. Okay, great. So, I mean, there's so many stretches we can do, but those are just some ones that I like on the back, but we're not done. So a lot of times we don't think about stretching our feet. I love this next one, and you can do this with like a ball on top of your foot, like one of those big stability balls or a small ball, but I'm gonna use the roller. So I'm just gonna gently place the roller on top of my arches, and if you're having a hard time reaching, you could slide your feet like under something that would give it a little pressure. I'm not sure exactly what, maybe like a low couch or bed, I don't know. But just, or have like your partner come over and just gently press tops of your feet down. But this feels really good. So if you can hold this for, again, about 20 seconds. And breathe, so tops of the arches. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you can't reach, have someone come around and just gently place their hands down to stretch your toes. hold it, or you can have a ball there. Okay, great. And then we do our favorite mermaid stretch that I give in probably every class that I teach, or some variation of this. So really good to have external and internal rotation in your hip. So this in itself is a stretch, and I'm just gonna shift my weight over to my left hip and then drop. This is in, I'm sure it's in some of my other videos as well, but just a really good one to get that thigh to turn in. If you're finding, this will be a separate video, that this side is having a really hard time dropping down, it's probably because the lateral hip muscles are really tight, specifically that area, the TFL above your IT band. So roll it out, use a tennis ball, kind of get into it and see if that helps. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna take a side bend over and I'm gonna roll through my upper spine and go again. So if this is really uncomfortable, please sit cross-legged and do it like this, which feels really good as well. So you decide, side, round, and side, and round. Good, and side. And now I'm gonna switch, I'm gonna go over to my other side. I'm gonna lift my abs and reach that right arm forward. Okay, so my hip is now off the mat and I'm reaching through my right arm and I'm feeling a really lovely stretch through the lower, mid back, upper back. Okay, hold that and then spiral out of it, drop that hip, and we'll go to the other side. Okay. So we're here, our hips are, one hip, both hips are down, and we're going to lift the back hip up and then drop it down. And great stretching time with your pets. And down, and lift, and down, and lift, and down. So if this is hard but manageable, try to, again, relax into it, go slow. We take our side bend over, don't yank on it. And easier said than done. I know sometimes it's hard. Rotate through and stretch and rotate through and stretch and rotate through. Stretch, open that side, open that armpit. Good, and then we go over to the other side. We're gonna lift the abs, your hip has lifted, and I'm reaching. If you can grab onto something, like I'm gonna grab onto my couch, I can really get a nice stretch here. So I'm kind of pulling with that arm. So use what you have. And open it back up. Okay, excellent. So we're now going to do a famous hip flexor stretch that I'm sure many of you know. I'm just going to bring my right foot forward. Now within this stretch, I could go really far down, but I'm going to keep that support muscularly, so I'm just building strength to do it as I do it. So I'm just going to hold this. Now you're welcome to reach your arm up, grow taller. Other hand can be here if you need like a yoga block down on the floor to hold on to. And I'm just gonna take a gentle, tiny little side stretch. So more just reaching up and out. So hold that, again, 20 seconds. And come back. Okay, and we'll go to the other side. So really good one to do. So you're upright, you're strong, connected down through your heel. Hold this, hips are square, up, and stretch it over if that feels okay. So try not to collapse, really think of lengthening up, then reaching. You can have your hand on behind your head as well. and then come up. Okay, so another great one, you can do this standing up on your stomach. It's just a quad stretch. So what you need to do though, is you need to make sure that you're tucking your pelvis under for the stretch. I wouldn't always say tuck your pelvis under, but for this, you're gonna grab the top of your foot. And this is where like one of those yoga loops could be good if you're having a hard time grabbing, or I'm sure you could do that with a scarf with your hand. So I'm gonna have my head down and I'm gonna think of tucking my pelvis under. So if I had a cattail, it would be shooting under and not going up. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my leg in so it's more parallel, and I'm gonna tuck the pelvis under, and now I feel the stretch. If I don't feel a stretch really. So just a gentle tuck of the pelvis. I'm gonna hold that, yeah, for about 20 seconds. If you were standing up, it would be the same thing, a little tiny curl under your tailbone. Breathe. And then bring it down, okay? And switch sides, grab the top of the arch, bring it in so you're parallel, tuck your pelvis under, or do this standing up if it doesn't feel good on your stomach. So my knee is kind of hovered above the mat as I tuck. Feeling it very differently on this side and down. And then another great one for a chest stretch and back is just to interlace your fingers if you could reach, and lift your chest up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and reach through your arms. Oh, feels so good. And I would do maybe 2 of those. Rest your head. Let your legs relax. And again. And down. If that one is not working for you, a nice alternative, and I tell people to do this all the time, is to stand up and place your hand on the wall. I do this all the time, so where can you see? Okay, so hands here, and then I just rotate away. So I'm feeling a really nice stretch all the way across the chest. Hold this one. So this is a great one to do. Breathe and hold. Take a nice full inhale, opening your chest. And then we'll do one more on the other side. So lift, rotate, hand in line with the shoulder, breathe. Yes, you can do that one anywhere. Great, there are so many more. In my neck reset, I do some nice neck stretching, but that's all we're gonna do today. I hope you find these stretches to be helpful and you can incorporate them into your weekly workouts, and I hope they help. So let me know if you have any questions, and look forward to more videos. Thank you.